Hello and welcome to my channel called Math is Hard. Today's video will be about block graph, also known as clique tree. Okay, we have this graph and we want to find block graph. First, we need to find articulation points, also known as cut vertices. Articulation point is a point that, if we remove it and all edges coming from it, the graph is no longer connected. For example, when we remove this node, the graph will be disconnected. That means that we couldn't get from one node to another. So this node is articulation point. But when we remove this point, the graph will be still connected. So this node is not articulation point. Okay, let's find all articulation points. As we said before, this node is articulation point. We marked it as x1. If we remove this node, the graph will stay connected. Same as this two nodes. This node is also not an articulation. But when we remove this point, the graph will no longer be connected. So this node is articulation point. Let's mark this node as x2. This point is not an articulation, because if we remove it and all edges coming from it, the graph will be connected. But this point is articulation. Let's mark this node as x3. And these two nodes are not articulations. If we continue with this algorithm, we find three more articulations. x4, x5, and x6. When we have all articulations, then it is easy to find the blocks. A block is a maximal subgraph without articulation point. Basically, we can say that articulations separate the blocks. We have here first block. Second block. Third block. Fourth block. Fifth block. Sixth block. Seventh block. Eighth block. And last ninth block. And now we will finally find block graph. In block graph, every block and every articulation became a node. So we rewrite graph with this nodes. B1, x1, B2, x2, B3, B4, B6. X3. B5. X4. B7. X5. B8. X6. And B9. And now we add edge to new graph if in the original graph nodes marked as articulations are contained in block. For example, between node B1 and node X1 will be an edge, because block B1 contained articulation X1. Block B2 contains two nodes marked as articulations, X1 and X2. So from node B2 will be two edges, one to node X1 and second to node X2. Block B3 contains only one node marked as articulation, X2. So in block graph will be one edge from B3 to X2. Block B4 contains X2 and X3, that is why in block graph will be two edges. One to X2 and second to X3. Block B5 contains X3, so only one edge in block graph. Block B6 contains two nodes marked as articulation, X2 and X4. Block B7 contains nodes X4 and X5. Block B8 contains nodes X5 and X6. And last block B9 contains node X6. This new graph is called block graph, also known as Clique tree. Thank you for watching. If you like the video, please like and subscribe.